Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Play Planescape Torment. In the last episode, we began studying Dak'kon's unbroken circle of Zerthamon, and we began learning the legacy of his people. And that, well, at some point early on in their existence, sadly, they became slaves to the Illithids, or Mind Flayers, depending on who you're asking. And in this episode, I figured we'd poke around the Clerk's Ward a little more. Specifically, it was recommended that we go here. So let's go there. I also tried going to Undersigil to go and to get a little bit of EXP, see if that could boost us on our way to our new party member, but that went about as well as you probably thought it would. Anyway. What the hell is this? Some sort of weird flame pillar? Torch. The word I'm looking for is torch. Anyway. Oh. Dark birds of Osanthus or Ocanthus, I'm not sure. Let's see. Several shards of black crystal or ice swirl within the freezing wind that this ornate pedestal gives forth. Each shard looks razor sharp. Touching or grabbing one could be perilous. A platinum placard put in place on the pedestal reads, Dark Birds of Ocanthus. I ain't touching those. Let's see.
Alright.
Whoa, this one's glowing? Let's see. Oh, it's stained glass. The hundreds of chips of translucent green glass which make up this stained glass window don't appear to be held together by anything, but rather remain free-floating and mysteriously suspended within the frame's boundaries. The shards ripple and move in slow waves, causing bizarre patterns to fluctuate across the window's surface. As various portions of it refract the gallery as light in different directions. A small platen placard beside the window reads Arcadian stained glass window. I like how we could just touch everything, just friggin', it's like Patrick from that one episode of SpongeBob, except that the name was one just going, touch. Let's touch and see what happens. Let's see. You reach out to touch the undulating glass shards, but find you cannot do so. Your hand stops just short of the surface of the glass. Well, let's not do anything that would make friggin' the owners pursue legal action, yeah?
I'm gone.
That would be a bad idea. The hell is this?
Alright.
Why can't I look at this? Let me look at it.
Done.
There we go. Oh, it's a ruby statue. A brilliant ruby statuette stands on a pedestal, carved into the image of a winged humanoid. This figure is either demonic or angelic in nature, but it's difficult to tell which, because it refracts the light in the gallery strangely. There's no placard indicating what exactly this statuette is. Huh, interesting. Let's see. Oh, Ivana. That is a person who actually has a name. First, what's this? An animated bloody iron chain coiling and uncoiling upon itself. The chain itself seems to bend and weave like a spine of a snake. The small placard reads, A chitin's animate chain from jangling hitter? I don't know. Let's not touch the chain. Let's not touch anything in this art gallery, because we might do something that might get us in trouble. Hi. Before you is a well-dressed elderly woman in a gown of peach-colored and golden thread. She stands quietly, her hands folded together primly, and nods in your direction. It is then that you notice that she has no pupils. Her eyes are entirely white. Greetings, sir. I am Ivana. Welcome to my galleria. Feel free to look about, spending as much time here as you like. If you have questions regarding any of the pieces, do not hesitate to ask me of them. Oh, I want to know what the deal behind that ruby statue is. Oh, one moment, sir. Your voice. It is heavy with age and wounds. Would you be so kind as to permit me to touch your face? Sure. Yavanna smiles, gently running her old hands over the skin of your face. She frowns, looking slightly puzzled. So many scars, both old and new. They seem so... She touches the side of your throat, flushes, and then pulls away. Pardon me, sir. I was curious to see how far they went. Well, he's kind of a walking mass of scar tissue at this point. Thanks, Vel. Anyway, it's fine, and they're everywhere. My whole body is scarred. Yavanna nods. Okay, I have some questions now. Let's see. Of course, please ask. I'm not gonna ask if she can see. She's very clearly blind. Oh, we can actually ask her about this little figure that we bought from Vrishka. Maybe she'll know what we can use it for, 'cause I mean, all I know is that we needed to get a party member. That's it. You know what this little cube-like toy is? Yavanna takes the item and drags her fingers along it. She feels along the exterior of the object and then hands it back to you. It's more than just a well-crafted toy Modron, that's for certain. It may be some sort of puzzle box or portal key. What's a Modron? Modrons are a race of lawful, orderly beings. They come in many shapes and forms, each one occupying a different level in the rigid Modron hierarchy. I think this sort is called a quadrone. Okay. I had another question. Thank you for telling me what this toy creature is, by the way. Let's see. Could have found... Oh, maybe... You're probably gonna regret asking this. What do you know of Rabble Puzzlewell? She is a night hag, one of the eldest Grey Sisters of the Wastes, who came to Sigil many centuries ago to pursue arcane experiments. It was believed that these experiments were against the lady's will, and that Rabble was thus banished from Sigil, imprisoned within one of the lady's mazes on the ethereal where her body rests this very day. Like the ethereal plane? Rabble was said to have been a master of riddles and puzzles, but one question in particular was said to have plagued the ancient night hag. What can change the nature of a man? Go on. She issued a challenge to any of those who were interested. She promised to instruct any who came to her in her craft, if they could only answer the question to her satisfaction. If they could not, they consented to be her next meal. Many died coveting Rabble's teachings, and it is believed that her final hours in Sigil, Rabble discovered the answer to her question. Go on. Rabble's crime was believed to be some means of trying to shatter the cage, trying to crack open Sigil itself for some unknown reason. Yavanna sighs. This is all I know of her. That was actually very informative. Thank you, Yavanna. Let's see. I had a question about one of the pieces. Oh, which one? One of the paintings? I'm actually curious about that ruby statuette. That piece was found in a cathedral in the fertile fields of Elysium on the first layer, Amoria the Untroubled, where it bordered the river Oceanus. The name of the piece is not known, but the skill and craftsmanship are believed to be one of the most striking examples of gem crafting in the plains. The mere way in which the piece captures, distills, and enhances light through its facets is part of its breathtaking wonder. It seems to bring to light the possible ideological connection between even the most evil and the purest things in the multiverse. It's quite fascinating. Another, I want to ask about the Arcadian stained glass window, because, like, what the heck? A stained glass window was found hovering on the third layer of Arcadia 32 years ago, foretelling a scene that had yet to occur. When the event came to pass, the images faded to leave what you saw behind. It is believed to have captured both light and darkness from the orb of night and day on Arcadia, and slowly released it, creating a brief but slow fade of dawning and dusk, but only within the glass itself. Orb of night and day? I've heard about Arcadia from Ebb Creekneys, but only in name. Arcadia is a plane of peaceful order, also known as the Land of Perfect Good. The Orb of Night and Day is a sphere set on top of Arcadia's highest peak. Each half emits either light or darkness. The turning of the orb gives Arcadia day and night. Huh. And another question, if you don't mind. Do you know where I could find work here? I need EXP. I'm afraid I do not go far from the Galleria, and I cannot help you with this matter. You might try and ask someone else. Alright, let's see. Actually, let's ask about the chain before we leave. The chain comes from the city of Jangling Hitter, the city of chains that hangs on Minoros, the third layer above the plane of Beator. The chains there are the finest in the multiverse, but the inhabitants of Jangling Hitter are malicious and cruel, using the chains as living weapons against all that enter their city and violate their laws. Ugh, chains can hurt like a bitch if you use them right, or wrong in this case. Chitons move about the city in of chains as spiders upon webs, adorned in chains woven tightly around their bodies. Chitons possess a power known as the Gift of Chains, which allows them to manipulate chains with their minds. It is believed that my Galleria's chain was animated during a battle in which the chiton controlling it was slain with a cursed hammer, its life essence then passing into the chain itself. That's mildly horrifying. But that's all I wanted to know. Thank you for your time, Ivana. Let's see. For the time being, though, that was fun at least. Let's see. Good morning, young officers. Wait, there's a cafe nearby? Curiosity shop, apothecary. I don't see no cafe, but hey, there's a linguist's house, so who knows. Maybe we can find some work or some EXP to be had here. Oh, he's looking for something. Hello friend, what are you looking for? This short scholarly man, a light nervous frown on his face, looks you up and down. Greetings, I am Fanon. I must beg your pardon, sir, but I care little for guests, invited or otherwise, so unless you business with me, I would ask you to leave. Well, I mean, you seem troubled. I just wanted to... I would have you know that I am a scholar and a linguist, sir. While I shall happily entertain any questions regarding my field of study, language and the like, I can be of no help to you in other matters. Okay, I just wanted to help, but okay. Damn, it's locked. If I try and force it, I'll probably get in trouble. Just wanted to help, but if you're gonna be a dink... Why is there a thug boss here? This is the clerk's ward. This isn't the hive. The clerk's ward is nice. Yeesh. Okay, let's see. Well, I tried to friggin' buy a harlot for Mort, but that didn't go well. Anna. Okay, so... I really want that new party member, but, like, everybody is like, friggin' no, wait till you're 8th level. And I'm getting there. Well, I don't really think there's much else that I can do right now here, so let's go poke around the lower ward.
Powers above. I got this stupid itch on the back of my head again. It's killing me.
Serves you right, Skull.
You sure irritate the rest of us enough.
Bones itch?
You know, one day you'll have an itch you can't scratch, and I won't help you. And then my revenge will be complete.
That's silly, Mort. You're silly. So let's see. I suppose we could, like, give the marketplace a look. See if there's anything noteworthy in there, since the last time we ran through there, it was kind of in a panic to try and find Mort. Let's see. Shoppers. Let's see. This guy probably sells weapons. Let's see what he has. You see an older man with long white hair and weathered yellow skin. He stands tall despite his obvious age. He smiles and gives you a slight bow. Hi! And to you as well, Cutter. How may I serve you? He raises his eyebrows and awaits your answer. I'm interested in what you have for sale. Let's see what you have. See, he has charms. He has a shield. He has guards. Ooh, rings. First. What does this one do? These rings are quite common across the plains, simple to make and in great demand. Mages usually create these items as a way to raise quick money. This particular ring has a minor enchantment on it that protects the wearer from harm. That's a definite maybe. This ring's a lot more expensive, but let's see. Created from the blood of a displacer beast, this ring is able to partially redirect the force of any ordinary weapon. Ooh. I may have to get that. Let's see. Ooh, I might be able to, like, buy a better dagger from this guy, maybe. Nameless. Okay, never mind. Why do you always have to go behind the counter to talk to people? They exist for a reason. Anyway, you see an older, stern-looking man. His face is a mixture of wrinkles and frown lines. Oh boy. He gives you a quick, stiff bow. Aye, greeting to you as well. Anza is my name. What you been eating? Let's see. A few questions. He gives you a toothless grin. I reckon I got time to give you the chant. What you be needing to know? Let's see. Ooh, do you have magical items? Oh, never mind. Let's see. Green steel dagger. Is that better than what we got? 2 to 5 piercing. 1 to 6 piercing. No, it's not. Launch dagger. 1 to 6 piercing. But it adds extra piercing damage. But I can't afford it. Ah well. Oh, hello, person with a name. You see a pretty young woman wearing simple clothes. She wanders about the market and examines everything, but does not make any purchases. You notice that people seem to be avoiding her, but they try not to make it obvious. She flashes you a warm smile as you approach. Hi. Her smile broadens. Hello, I'm Karina. It's a pleasure to meet you, Cutter. She continues to smile and waits for your response. I have some questions. She nods her head. Alright, what do you want to know? Oh. We're gonna buy some magic. She smiles and points to one of the counters. I like over there, I sells magic things. Are you a mage? You don't look like one, but I guess looks can be rather deceiving. I don't know what a mage really looks like, now that I think about it. Do you? Yes, they wore robes with funny symbols and a pointy hat. Really? That's good to know. I mean, mages scare me, so I want to know what they look like. I guess it's all the power they have. They can really do incredible things and all, but you don't know what they look like. Warriors and priests, and you know, other powerful people just look powerful with all the stuff they carry around, and that says they're powerful people. But mages? She pauses. Wish I knew why people were avoiding her. You see a large, blustery merchant. He looks fairly hairless, and his pale yellow skin is scarred from burns. He looks at you intently as you approach. Hi. Greetings, I'm Cinder. I heard a bunch of you presume to be the scarred, clueless fellow that be going around the wards asking questions. What can I be helping you with? I have some questions. I still can't believe we have asked so many damn questions around Sigil that everybody's just like, hey, you know about that clueless dude who's been going around with a weird entourage, just friggin' asking people questions? I'm interested in spells. Ooh, he has spells. Scroll of armor, what's this? Physical attacks shall be better thwarted as the protection is granted to those who have none. The spell grants an armor class of 6 to the target. Ooh, that's good. Spell lasts until the wearer sustains cumulative damage, totaling more than 8 points plus 1 level of a caster. Note that the armor does not absorb this damage. It only disintegrates after that much damage has been inflicted on it. Okay. Scroll of Strength, that's a maybe. Scroll of Knock, what? The inaccessible, the lock can be freed within one's grasp with this incantation. With Knock, unlocked doors, chests, boxes, or shackles shall be unlocked. It does not affect burned gates and the like. In addition, this can only affect up to 2 implements per spell. That's also tempting. Let's see, what else? I already have removed curse, thank God, but Tasha's unbearable derisive laughter. What? What man does not fill their body with burning shame when mocked by a woman? Fill the ears of your enemies with this derisive scorn of a woman's laughter. Their bodies shall become clumsy and foolish, easily struck, and confidence shall be leached from their muscles, weakening their blows. Tasha's unbearable derisive laughter occurs in a 30-foot radius from the spot. All male living creatures with an intelligence greater than 4 in the range of its spell must make a saving throw versus spells, or get a -2 to their attack, -2 to their AC, -2 to their damage rolls for 5 seconds at the level, and divided by the level of the caster. At least I think that's the division sign. Tempting, but I don't know how many male enemies we're going to be facing. I mean, it would be useful. It would be useful. Is there anything I can sell to this guy? That's a big fat no. Okay, and not to mention, I don't even have the money for it, so... Conan Cold. Extreme cold blasts forth and welcomes your enemies in its freezing embrace. The spell shoots forth a cone-shaped area of extreme cold from the caster's hand in a 30-foot long cone. It deals 1 to 4 plus 1 points of damage per level of the caster, to a maximum of 10 to 40 plus 10 points. Ooh, that's tempting. I don't have enough money for that either. A lot of these I'll definitely have to come back for, but for now I'm going to pick up this scroll of armor. Thanks, Cinder. Bada-bup. Let's see. Market worker, shoppers. Well, looks like this is like literally just the marketplace. There's no work to be found here. Oh well. Gort and Thorpe. Huh. And Zerb. Dare I talk to these lot? This creature is huge, standing over 9 feet tall. Rippling muscles support its massive frame. As you approach, he leers at you and laughs. What the fuck is your deal? He looks down at you with a friendly smile. What you want, Smalley? I have questions that maybe your big musclehead dumb self can answer. I don't know. You got question, maybe Thorpe got answer. He smiles at you. Well, I mean, he seems nice enough, other than, like, calling us Smalley, despite the fact that the nameless one is clearly almost as tall as he is. Or at least he looks like it. Anyway, who the fuck are you? He smacks himself in the chest with a thunderous blow. Thorpe. He raises his arm above his head and shakes his fist at the sky. Mighty warrior is Thorpe. All the Fakola are mighty warriors. He places his fist on his hip and glares at you. Who you? He thinks for a moment and nods. That's a good name for Smalley. Nice ring to it. Thorpe-like. So let's see. What you doing here, Thorpe? He barks out a laugh and smiles at you. Thorpe here with friends. He gestures to nearby Fikol and Felcola. We're going to barsh a flying lizard. He lets out a roar and begins to pound his chest with fists the size of hams. Flying lizard? He nods his head and begins to make crawling motions. Lizard, you know, but it fly. He begins to flap his arms like a huge misshapen bird. Glorious. Eventually, he settles down and looks at you expectantly. You mean a dragon? He snorts and raises to his full height. Thorpe good, but he not that good. Someday Thorpe want to barsh dragon. He stares off into the distance with a longing expression in his eyes. But this not that day. Well, if it's not a dragon you're talking about, then what is it? Thorpe not remember what Xanthia call it. He pauses to think. It's lizard, tall as Thorpe, walk on back legs, got wings, got claws, red in color. They say Abishai? Oh god, don't bite the Abishai! I've heard of something called Abishai, is that what you mean?
Updated my journal.
His eyes light up and he gives you a joyful smile and nods his head. Yes, Abishai! Flying lizard. Thorpe and friends barsh real good. Thorpe be warrior of stature then. Xanthia accept apology. What's this about Xanthia and an apology? Thorpe take friends to tavern all night. Thorpe gets stinking drunk. Fall on Xanthia's table. Spill drinks all over her. He looks embarrassed. Oh no. Xanthia says she's not going to accept apology unless their Thorpe be warrior of stature. So killing an Abishai is supposed to give you stature.
Updated my journal.
He shrugs. Xanthia say, Thorpe not know. Well, I have to go now. It was nice talking to you, Thorpe. He was oddly pleasant, honestly. Anyway, let's take a quick look at the journal and see if there's anything we haven't done. Oh, right. Crystal still wants Black Rose dead. Well, now that we have some extra manpower, and now that we have some extra spell power, maybe, just maybe, we can make that happen. Also, I was told that, Oh! Here's Xanthia! Maybe we can talk her into forgiving Thorpe. You see a pretty young woman in fine clothes. Her skin lacks the usual yellow tint of the inhabitants of this horde. She appears to be watching the 3 nearby creatures with interest. Hi. She turns her face to you and an annoyed look crosses her face. Yes, what do you want? I have some questions. Fine. She looks irritated. What are you doing here? There's going to be a fight, and I want to see it. She smiles wickedly. It should be interesting. A fight, eh? Yeah, see those 3 Fakola over there? She points to the 3 hulking creatures with rippling muscles. They're going to try and kill an Abishai. She snorts. Those stupid oafs. I've heard of something called an Abishai before. What exactly is it other than something clearly from friggin' whatever plane the Tanari are from or from Beator? It's a lower planes creature. A Beatazo, I think. She frowns in thought. In any case, Abishai have nasty dispositions, sharp claws, and can cast spells. Very formidable. Those Stokola look like they can take care of themselves. Normally, I would say yes. The Kola are powerful warriors. She smiles slyly and then leans to whisper to you. However, I know something they don't. What might that be? Abishai can only be hurt by magic. She snickers. The Thukola will be slaughtered, I have no doubt of it. She straightens up and watches the Thukola eagerly. How do you know they can only be hurt by magic? She gives an annoyed look. My husband is very high up on the Harmonium. The Harmonium guards are trained to deal with creatures such as Abishai. She looks away. That's how I know. My husband told me. Why don't you warn the Thukola? Why should I do that? I'm the one who suggested the fight. Why? My husband tries to better his social standing with his underlings by drinking with them in the local taverns. Last evening he forced me onto just such an occasion. Those 3 oafs were there, boasting their prowess as warriors. It was obvious they were in a drunken stupor. When they decided to leave, one of them tripped and fell into the table I was sitting at. Which was an accident. She frowns angrily. Most of the drinks at the table spilled onto my lap and ruined a very expensive evening gown. So, while the Cretan was trying to apologize, I whispered to him that I only accepted apology from a warrior of stature. If he were truly such a warrior, he'd be able to defeat an Abishai in hand-to-hand combat. You're going to get them killed because they ruined a dress?
Updated my journal.
You obviously don't understand the intricacies behind this situation. She looks at you as if you were an idiot child. I was embarrassed and humiliated in front of my husband and underlings. She looks angry. I'm going to go warn them now because you're kind of a bitch. Thorpe. I talked to Xanthia. She said you were going to fight an Abishai? He smiles and nods at you enthusiastically. That right? Thorpe and friends Barsh. Thorpe, I've learned that Abishai can only be hurt by magic weapons.
Updated my journal.
He gives you a worried look. Need magic? How you know? I talked to Xanthia. She told me. He seems confused at first, then a look of realization appears on his face. Xanthia played Thorpe for a coney. She lied, trying to get Thorpe and friends dead. I'm afraid so, Thorpe. He nods. Xanthia not deserve apology. Thorpe free from debt to her. Yes, you are free of your debt. Thorpe, thank you. You saved life. You saved life of friends. He turns to the other Tokola and speaks to them hurriedly. After a moment, all 3 bow to you, and each hands you a pouch of coins. Aw, you don't have to. He smiles. You good friend. You deserve.
In knowing the teachings of Zerthamon, I have become stronger.
Ooh, congratulations on your level up, Dak'kon. I'm glad I got to do some good for these guys. They seem nice enough, if a bit... Well, they're muscleheads, but hey, muscleheads can be nice. And good thing we just talked to them about that, because there goes an Abishai. Also, turns out we can get into the Great Foundry. We just need to find the right person to talk about letting us in. I'm hearing somebody yammering about something over here, so... Darren, you have a name. Oh. Oh no, this guy's a slaver. Oh god. No, I'm gonna go talk to Trist. You see a young woman who's trying to get your attention. She is wearing shoddy clothes, but her demeanor is one of elegance. Unlike that of the people that surround her, upon closer inspection, you notice that her skin is clean and smooth, lacking the yellow tint of the inhabitants of this ward. She notices your approach and smiles at you. Hi, are you... I think the powers you notice me. I am in need of services of a mercenary. She pauses and examines you more carefully. If appearances are any indication, you would seem to be such an individual. What exactly is it that you want of me? She nods at you. The heart of this matter is that I am to be sold into slavery for a crime I did not commit. I am in need of a champion, someone who will help me prove my innocence and free me from this fate. What's going on? I want to help you. She thinks for a moment. This is a long telling, Cutter. Please, bear with me. Oh my god, slavery is such a shitty thing. Please, just let me help you. She sighs and begins her tale. My husband died recently and left me his business. I am not business-oriented, so I decided to sell. Not long afterwards, I was contacted by a lender saying a loan in the business had not been paid. She pauses to gather her thoughts. Go on. I examined the documents, and my husband kept and found there, and indeed a loan had been taken, but it had just recently been paid in full. I explained this to the lender, and a few days later asked for a copy of the document. It was nowhere to be found. Go on. Well, when I could not prove that the loan was paid, the lender took me before the court. My monies were taken and applied to the balance owed. Since it did not pay off the loan, I am to be sold on the block and to try and recover the remaining amount due. She gives you a forlorn look. I don't understand. Why sell you into slavery? She shrugs. It serves many purposes. First, it keeps the prisons relatively clear of all but the vilest criminals. Second, the sale of the convicted is usually to pay for any damages, costs, or fees involved in the case. Finally, the convicted still serves a sentence for which they are eventually released, supposedly as better citizens. I don't know how I can help you, though. I need someone to find this missing document, one that proves that the loan was paid, or you could purchase my contract. I could pay you back. She gives you a pleading look. I can spend the next 5 years of my life in this ward, Cutter. It will kill me. Surely you've noticed the illness shared by all who live here. The yellow tint of the skin? She nods her head. Yes, Cutter. Please, find it in your heart to help me. Please. Well, I mean, why would I tell her that? No. Like, she's clearly, like, the person paid the debt in full, right? So let's see. I'll help you.
Updated my journal.
Ask anything, Cutter. What's the lender's name? I know his name well, Cutter. After all I've been through, I will not likely forget it. She gets a faraway look and then shudders for a moment. Byron Pickett is his name. She pauses for a moment, and his associate may be someone named Lenny. Who is this Lenny? She thinks for a moment. There's a small, pharaoh-looking man who came to court a few times. He would sit behind Pickett and whisper to him occasionally. She pauses and looks lost in thought. Go on. She frowns. I remember him because he always seemed to be uncomfortable in his clothes. He would pick at them as if they were new, and as if he were not used to wearing them. She pauses again. On such an occasion, Pickett told him to sit still and stop fidgeting. He called him Lenny. Where can I find Lenny? She thinks for a moment, then shrugs. I'm not sure, actually. My husband told me that some ruffians can be found southeast of the market, near the siege tower, I believe. Alright, where can I find Byron? She thinks for a moment. I think he can be found near or around the open-air market. Forgive me, but I am not certain. Alright, couple of other questions. Could you have misplaced the loan document? She shakes her head. No, Cutter. I am a very meticulous person. I kept the document in a lockbox in my husband's study. It never left that room. Alright. Let's see. Do you think the document could have been stolen? She shrugs. I don't know. Why would anyone steal that, yet leave the other valuables be? It makes little sense to me. Well, maybe the lender stole the documents that you'd pay for the loan twice. She looks at you in shock. That is a terrible thought. She hesitates and begins to tap her chin with a finger as she thinks. But also a most ingenious one, Cutter. This Byron Pickett does strike me as a knight of the post. A what? She gives you a quizzical look. A thief, or a cheat, Cutter. Such are called knights of the post, or of the cross trade. Alright? Let's see. Who can I talk to about your contract? That would be Darren, the auctioneer. He's usually over there on the block. She points to the front of the platform. Alright? Have you explained this to any of the courts you spoke of? She nods her head. Oh yes, Cutter. I've explained my situations to many. You are the first to be willing to help me. She smiles warmly at you. Alright, Trist. See what I can do. So Byron is usually around the open air market. So let's see if we can't talk to him and possibly out him as a scumbag. Or possibly have Anna pickpocket him. I mean, that's an alternative. Let's see. Glitspur. Oh. Aha. Hi. You see a well-dressed, middle-aged man. He seems to be scanning the crowd with a practical eye. He notices you approach and gives you a quick once-over. Hi. He smiles at you briefly and gives a barely perceptible nod. I am Byron Pickett, a moneylender. How may I help you? I have some questions. Very well, make it quick. I want to talk to you about Trist. Ah, Trist. He frowns and looks away. After a moment, he looks at you and raises his eyebrows. What about her? I'm trying to find a missing document for her. He sighs and shakes his head. There is no missing document. That was a ruse and instigated by Trist to cast money on her death. The fact of the matter is thoroughly investigated by Mercy Killers, and they found no evidence of any such document. Mercy Killers? I mean, I know those guys rub me the wrong way, but... Yes, a faction of fanatics dedicating to uncovering the truth in criminal cases and handing out justice. They're often used as investigators by the courts of Sigil. They're quite thorough, and they found nothing. He glares at you. They could have missed something. That is a possibility, but not very likely. You obviously are not familiar with the Mercy Killers or their methods, for you do not make such a statement. They could not find the document, and then it does not exist. He looks at you angrily. Someone could have stolen the document and then destroyed it. That way a loan could be paid twice. Someone like you.
Updated my journal.
For a moment, he looks like he's about to be furious with you, and then a gloating smile crosses his face. What a terrible thought. A pity there is no proof of such activity. He continues to smile at you. Let's see. Yes, a pity. So tell me, why do I have Triss sold into slavery? Couldn't she pay you your money in the form of a loan? Yes, she could. I did make that offer to her. He looks at you sternly. However, she turned me down. I don't allow second chances. No one turns me down without suffering the consequences. No one. No. I've heard enough of you to last a lifetime. I will answer no more of your questions. Now pike it, sod. Oh boy. I have an idea. First, I'm going to save, in case I do something that gets my ass in trouble. Ba-da-bum.
Aye. Might as well.
Over here.
Like a shadow I am. Left the shadows. Not this time.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, no. So yeah, that didn't work, so, maybe we need to find this Lenny guy near the siege tower. Oh, well shit, there he is. That was easy. You see a feral-looking young man in shoddy clothes. His eyes dart around as he scans his surroundings. He notices you approach and begins eyeing you warily. Hi. He looks you up and down and then glances about. Returning his attention to you, he gives you a wicked grin. You best have a good reason for disturbing Lenny, Burke. I have some questions, Lenny. He laughs at you. I ain't no lout. If you got questions, go find one. His smile broadens. You best push off before I bleed you. What if I told you Brian Pickett sent me? He stops smiling and examines you for a while. His eyes linger on your scars, and he swallows slightly. After a moment, a frown settles on his face. He appears to be nervous. Pickett sent you. Why? He said you could answer me some questions. What questions? Ooh! I want to ask you about the papers that you stole from Trist. He swallows hard and stares at you. You notice his muscles tense and it looks like he's ready to run. He puts one hand on his hip in a nonchalant manner, but you can tell he is wound as tight as a spring. I don't know what you're talking about, Burke. You best be off. You know what I'm talking about, Lenny. Byron had you steal some papers from Trist. I'm here to collect them. He swallows hard and the corner of his mouth starts to twitch. He glances at the scars that cover your body, and then tries to meet your gaze, but cannot. Collect them. I destroyed the papers after I nicked them, just like Byron told me. He finally meets your gaze. Really? Then why are you so nervous, Lenny? Let me guess. Byron thinks you destroyed the papers, but maybe you didn't. Maybe you kept them. A little blackmail material, perhaps? He stares at you for just a moment, then suddenly turns to run. Nope! Just as he starts to run, you leap forward and grab him. He deftly steps out of your reach and begins to sidestep you. Seeing your quarry about to escape, you make another, most desperate lunge at him. You fail to grab him, but you do manage to bump into him hard, knocking him off balance. Your efforts foil his escape. Alright, I didn't destroy them! I'll give them to you if you just let me go! Hand them over, Lenny. He sighs. I don't have them with me. You frown at him and see his fear grow on his face. I swear it! I don't have them! I put them in storage! He continues to stare at you, breathing hard. Then let's go get them. He shakes his head sadly. We can't. They're in the warehouse, and they're not open for business right now. Rumor has there's some sort of management change going on. I don't know if that's true. In any case, I can't get the papers. I'll look into this and get the papers myself, then. He shrugs. Fine, I guess that Snake Pickett wins again. He looks at you deftly. Actually, Trist wins this one, Lenny. He frowns. What do you mean? None of your business. Go to the warehouse and tell the clerk I'm here for a loan and I'll give you the papers. Later, Burke.
Updated my journal.
Oh, that was satisfying. Alright. To the warehouse. Ah, I love foiling evil deeds. Okay, into the warehouse. Let's see.
All right.
Is there anybody here? Oh, okay, good. Lena, Connell, and Otis. Well, maybe these guys will know. Like, these guys will tell me what I want to know if I can. Oh, here we go. Welcome to the vaults of the Ninth World. How may I serve you on this fine day, Sigillian? I have a few questions. Of course. What can I do for you? I would like to claim something. And what is it that you were looking for exactly? I was told to tell you that I'm here for a loan. Oh, one of my secret passwords. Here are the papers you want, sir. Thank you. What else can I do for you? Nothing. Farewell. Oh. Farewell. We at the Vault of the Ninth World value your business. Please return. Okay, farewell. Ooh, I got good news for Trist. Ooh, good news for Trist has I. Oh, well, fuck, she's right there. Trist, good news. I have good news for you. Have you found the documents, Cutter? Can you free me? Yes, I will give it to Duran and free you. A look of relief washes over her face. You think she's about to faint, but she quickly recovers. Thank you, Cutter. Please return to me after you speak with Duran. Hey, scumbag! You see a boisterous auctioneer. He's very animated and does a lot of shouting, yelling, and stomping. He does have a tendency towards the melodrama and makes a lot of strange facial expressions as he waves his arms. Hey, scumbag, you're holding somebody unjustly. He glances at you and motions to the crowd as he's taking a break. Well, 1,000 greetings do I bestow upon you, sir. He does a double take when he notices your scars. You know, I take one look at you with my discerning eye, and I can see you're in the market for some healing charms. Actually, I have some questions. Little time for such wigwag, friend. There's dealing to be done. Speak quick. I want to talk to you about Trist. He frowns for a moment and shrugs. Very well. What about Trist? Let's see. I have proof she is innocent of any crime. He smiles broadly, then laughs. Very well. Show me the evidence. Here you go. He opens a document and quickly scans the contents. After a moment, he sighs and folds the document and puts it inside his shirts. Seems the court owe no Lady Trist an apology, sir. From this moment, she is free, and I will make the arrangements to have her status and property returned to her. Thank you.
Updated my journal.
No, thank you. It's rare to see an individual who will do that and who will do what you have done. He bows to you. Excuse me. I must speak with Lady Trist. Farewell. Did you hear the good news? Trist smiles at you warmly. You are my savior, Cutter. I will forever be in your debt. I was happy to help you, Trist. Thank you, Cutter. She glances about and pauses to think for a moment. You have saved me from certain death, Cutter. A slow, painful death. She frowns as she thinks. Please wait here. I shall return shortly. All right. You see Trist approaching, and she smiles and waves at you. Hello again, Cutter. Thank you for waiting. She looks about for a moment, then removes a purse from the fold of her dress. With the document you have provided, the courts will restore my status and finances. This is not much, but it's a well-deserved reward for what you've done. Are you sure? I mean, you may need help getting back on your feet, Trist. No. Thank you. Farewell, Cutter. I'm just glad we can help her. Let's see. We're still a little ways off from level 8, but hey, we got to do something good this episode, yeah? Anybody else in this crowd of slaves that we can help? No? Damn. I mean, I assume, like, if they have, this person has a name. This man has rough, leathery skin with a pale yellow cast and gaunt features. His face is angular, his nose is small and highly placed, his ears taper into points, a tracery of tattoos and scars over his body. He is dressed in strange, gaudy leathers that look more ornamental than combat-ready. His eyes look like two small black stones, and they track you as you approach. Before you reach him, Dak'kon pauses. I would caution you before speaking to this Githyanki. Isn't that like your sister species, though?
Updated my journal.
Githyanki and Githzerai were once of a common stock. We were slaves and food for the Illithids, mind flayers, who devoured our lives in order to succor their own. One of our ancestors, the warrior Queen Gith, led us to victory against the Illithids, and we escaped. We have waged unending war on the mind flayers ever since. However, there was a disagreement over the future of our people. Upon the blasted plains, our leader, Zerthamon, made the pronouncement of two skies, and then steel was bared. Once one race became two. It's a rift that cannot be crossed peacefully. We'll let it go then. Let's go. I don't want to make Dak'kon. I don't want to make Dak'kon uncomfortable. Although, according to some advice I've gotten, I may have to if I want to get even closer to him and, like, get that good ending. I don't know if I want to talk to this Abishai. I'm pretty sure that's an Abishai, but it has a name, and usually people with names are meant for talking to, so... You see a reptilian creature with a snake-like body, 4 clawed feet, leathery wings, and a draconian head. The scales covering his body are a vile shade of green. The creature stands upright on its hind legs, balancing with a prehensile tail. As you approach, its eyes narrow to slits, and it begins to hiss. Hi. The air around the creature begins to radiate heat, and its scales take on a pale sheen. It gives you a hungry look and appears ready to strike. Suddenly, it releases a flurry of hisses and relaxes its stance bit. Go, sir, no talk. Told to wait. It glares at you a bit as it lashes its tail back and forth. I want to know what you is, though, just real quick. Every muscle on this creature seems to tense as it releases a storm of hisses. It starts to reach for you, then stops. Hate drips from its eyes when it speaks to you. Go, sir, go, talk. You lucky human. You go while still lucky. You stay, go, sir, shred. Alright, then. Nobody is friendly in Sigil. Are beginning to show signs of age. Soon they will crumple to a pile of refuse. That's no good. But there's not a lot we can do about it. Still, just... this was an overall feel-good episode. We got to learn some nice things about art, and we got to help we got to help a falsely accused woman get out of slavery. At the same time, I would like to try and get into the Great Foundry. But apparently we're supposed to, like, talk to some people to be let in.
I'm gone.
Wait, no, not the slavers, no.
Alright.
And I do like how, friggin', instead of fighting to keep Trist a slave, Duran is actually just like, wow, that was actually really nice of you. It's not every day that you get to, friggin', see somebody who actually wants to, like, help somebody falsely accused. Anyway, maybe I can wait for that guy to pass through again. There we go. Hi! You see a burly, bored-looking guard. State your business, please. Who are you? I'm a guard of the Believers of the Source, sir. Believers of the Source? Yes, sir. Godsmen we're called. Why? We are one of the 15 factions and recognized factions in Sigil, sir. We believe that everything has within it a spark of divinity, neither good nor evil necessarily, but a potential to be divine. Beyond divinity, we believe there lies something greater. We believe all life has a purpose and a goal. We are devoted to understanding what these goals are. We strive towards greatness with every step in our lives. Wow, that's actually, like, genuinely well-meaning. I like these guys already. Sounds important. We believe it is, sir. Can I help you with anything else? Yeah, I just had some questions. Let's see. What is this place? You are in front of the Great Foundry, home to the Believers of the Source. What's the Great Foundry? Aside from being home to the Believers of the Source, it is also one of the largest foundries known to mortal existence. Much traffic passes through these gates. We take orders from all across the plains. Currently, we are not accepting any further orders, as most of our craftsmen are either working on a new project or are commissioned for the next several months on smaller orders. What this means in practical terms is that you're not getting in unless you have a receipt for work to pick up or have urgent business inside. Oh. Alright then. Well, hey, at least we know what's here anyway. else to do. Oh, maybe before we call it an episode, we'll have another quick go at the Unbroken Circle of Zerthamon. Let's see. Unlock the 5th Circle of Zerthamon. Let's see, we can read them, so... Zerthamon was the first to know the way of freedom, yet it was not he that came to know the way of rebellion. The knowing of rebellion came to the warrior queen, Gith, one of the people. She had served the Illithids upon many of the false worlds as a soldier, and she had come to know war and carried it with her in her heart. She had come to know how others might be organized to subjugate others. She knew the paths of power. She knew the art of taking from the conquerors of weapons by which they could be defeated. Her mind was focused, and both her will and her blade were as one. The turning in which Zerthamon came to know Gith, Zerthamon ceased to know himself. Her words were fires lit in the hearts of all who heard her. In hearing her words, he wished to know war. He wished to know not what afflicted him, but he knew he wished to join his blade to Gith. He wished to give his blade expression and share pain with the Illithid. Gith was one of the people, but her knowing of herself was greater than any Zerthamon had ever encountered. She knew the ways of flesh, she knew the Illithids, and in knowing herself, she was to know how to defeat them. In battle, the strength of her knowing was so great that all those that walked her path came to know themselves. Gith was but one. Her strength was such that it caused others to know their strength, and Zerthamon laid his steel at her feet.
What is your will?
Let's talk about your teachings, Dak'kon, because I just finished reading the next Unbroken Circle. What have you come to know? There is great strength in numbers, but there is great power in one. For the strength of the will of many had to gather themselves to it. There is strength in not only knowing the self, but knowing how to bring it forth in others. You have come to know the 5th Circle of Zerthamon. With this knowing, I impart this to you. He takes the circle, and with a deft motion, he twists one of the links so the plates slide forth. He hands the plate to you. Meditate upon its teachings, and knowing of it shall give you strength. Okay. So, that's all. Actually, wait. What spell we get? Let's see. Power of 1. What does this spell do, though? Never mind. I can't find out. Actually, I can find out because... Let's see. Scripture Seal. Power of 1. The spell increases the target strike score by a certain number of points for tenths of points above 18, which will be qualified by... Okay, let's see. Okay, so it's a strength booster. So, anyway, that's enough for this episode. We are running a bit low on time, so next time on Let's Play Planescape Torment, how far are we from level 8? Not that far, so we'll probably mess around with the Unbroken Circle of Zerthamon, and we'll probably end up going to the brothel of slacking intellectual lust to pick up our new party member. I will see you guys then, and take care.